Hello, everybody. So today I'm going to speak to you about the new client that we are starting started over the past month, working for Titan Travel, and how we plan to help them emerge into being a digital company, and how we're going to do that with full stack JavaScript. So using NextJS, which I'm sure all you guys have heard about a lot over the past year and a bit. So just a little bit into who I am. Hello, I'm Sam, tech lead and D&B dancer. Believe it or not, that is my actual job title. And Digital is a really great company, which is quite developer first, and it really encourages you to be more than just a developer. You are sharing a bit more about who you are to drive conversation, and also just to enforce the fact that you're not just a developer. You are a human as well. Hang on a minute, let me move this out of the way so you can see better. So I started my career at IBM, same as Anisha, in a slightly different team. So I worked for the what was the Blue Mix Garage, and turned into their cloud garage. Worked for some big clients, stressful environments, but learned a lot before moving to And Digital just about a year ago now. And Digital also worked for some big clients, Premier Inn, Whitbread, but also and do some great work for charities. So when we're on the bench, we do some not-for-profit work for charities like Cancer Care Map. So really enjoyed working with them a bit this year. But now finally been given a new client, which is Titan Travel. So the difference between Titan Travel and these other clients is this is the first time which I've been able to build a site completely greenfield. In all the ones you see there, there's always been legacy things that we've had to deal with, mainly CMSs. So done a lot of work and pain points with AEM and Sitecore. So this is the first time where we get to build it again from scratch. So really excited to show you the stack that we've come up with. And also kind of feedback. So looking for kind of feedback and ideas, and if you think that I could do things better, let me know. This is a proposed solution. We haven't built it yet, but this is I think it's important to share what we're going to build, because this is kind of the future of the internet. So I want to hear everyone's input. So a little bit about who Titan Travel are. So Titan Travel are the UK's leading escorted tour specialist. They're an award-winning company who take some of the older generation on amazing trips around the world, but real VIP travel. So they really look after you during your trip and make it really special for you. So special, in fact, that 98% of their customers would book again, and they're a really great company in that regard. However, they're quite young in terms of their digital presence, and they're quite young in their journey to being a digital company. Right now is a really important time for them because they're just becoming more technically independent from their parent company. And really defining who they are technologically, so they can really build greenfield and do what they want. And they're really using this COVID time as a positive. They know that not many people are touching the website at the moment, so it's a real time, a good time for them to rebuild something ready for what they believe is going to be this huge holiday boom, which when people are all out of lockdown, which I'm sure is going to happen. And yeah, they're ready to embrace the digital revolution. So this is all about they fit well with Anne's ethos, which is that everybody needs to kind of embrace this digital revolution. Every company nowadays is a digital company, so we help these companies to become more digital. So a great company, and for me, they're an awesome client. So the website today, it's built on Sitecore v6, which is going or is already out of long-term support, although they've managed to extend it just for our particular version for now. They have this idea that there's two CMSs. So there's a CMS for the website content, which lives on Sitecore, but also there's this product CMS, which is where all their tours and all their holidays live. And that serves some of their glossy brochures, which is also one of their main kind of entry points for customers into Titan Travel. At the moment, the website's kind of functional, but the experience in the back end really isn't very good. There's a lot of manual work going on to copy these tours over from the product CMS into Sitecore, and Anna is having a bit of trouble keeping all the pages linked together and keeping all this content linked. The customers themselves, they find the website okay. They can book you during the website. But with an award-winning customer call center, most of them are finding it much easier just to call up and speak to one of the really knowledgeable advisors. So the challenge for us is really how can we turn their website into their main portal and their main avenue for customers booking holidays. So yeah, a few problems to be solved. As I've already mentioned, there's a lot of manual work and interventions. Also, I forgot to say that the whole website at the moment is developed and run by their parent company. So they have 40 hours of development time per month to be able to do some updates to their Sitecore site, which really isn't a lot. So as part of this project, we'll be building their own digital capabilities and let me just close this. This is annoying me. There we go. We're building their digital capabilities and getting some devs in-house. There's a lot of hidden costs on their current website. A lot of this is actually to do with SEO and page ranking. So currently the page load speed is around 20 seconds for some pages. So they're really ranking quite low on Google. So they're spending a lot on paid ads. So can we remove some of that cost with what we're doing? And really, yeah, accelerate the SEO benefits to get as many customers into the website as possible. And once the customers are in the website, can we use their profile and their preferences a bit better to serve the right content and the right product at the right price at the right time? And really, we want to build Titan a platform that for the future, that's scalable, integrated, and that they can run with when And Digital have finished our engagement. So yes, in terms of the website tomorrow, some of the ideas of what we want to do from a user experience perspective. So we've been speaking to lots of users over the last month or so. Andre, our user experience lead, has spoken to 31 users so far in the past month. And we will be continuing to do that throughout the project and continuing to iterate on our designs and really improving them based off user feedback. It's all going to be mobile first. Now, the reason it's mobile first is not because we have a lot of people that use mobile. It's really so we can really simplify the page content to really ensure that we're getting the stuff on the page that is needed. Because obviously it's very much easier to add in components when we want to make a desktop rather than try and take away components when we're trying to make a mobile design out of a desktop. So mobile first is very important. We want to try and tap into the active community. So we have a lot of people that, a lot of customers that really want to shout about the holidays that they've been on and review them. So can we really tap into that a bit better? We can hopefully make the site really simple and easy to use for this non-tech savvy user base so that we can reduce some call center drop off as well, and really surface Titan's expertise that they have in-house through the website. It's really important during this, we also take the business on the journey. As we said, the business isn't in that digital mindset yet. So can we really bring them on board? And we have a lot of playbacks to the wider business in order to get them being part of our journey as well. So let's talk about the interesting bit, the technology. So here's a little overview of the tech stack that we're going with. So yeah, we've got Cloudflare on the front to provide our WAF, our web application security layer, as well as a few other little tricks, which I will mention a bit later, which are really useful. We're building the front end with a combination of static site generation and server-side rendering using NextJS and TypeScript. We're using Storyblock, which is an interesting one probably for you guys, as our headless CMS. We'll talk about that in more detail as well. We're going to remove this manual process of uploading tours from their product CMS by creating a little Node.js microservice that does that and interacts with Storybox management API. And really the idea of this is we've designed this from a user perspective, from a back-end user's perspective. So really make it easier and simpler, make Anna and Roger's life a lot easier to manage all this content and to serve the website. Some other things to mention. So we're going full stack JavaScript in order to be able to get our in-house developer capability and make it really easy to manage moving forwards. Storyblock has this amazing preview mode, which I can show you a bit later, which allows you to makes it really easy for content editors to add their components, their blocks to the page, and see instant results of what it's going to look like. We can also do amazing things linking the content dynamically based on search tags, because it's going through this build step, this static generation step, where we can put JavaScript in there and link pages that have search tags, and link blogs to product pages, and make Anna's life easier there. We'll be doing agile development and obviously CI/CD pipelines from the start to make the development experience really good throughout as well. So diving in a bit deeper into why we've chosen the different bits we have. So I'm speaking on the JavaScript Exchange. A lot of you would have heard and seen a lot about NextJS recently. So it's no surprise that we've gone with that for our front end. Really, one of the main reasons for us is the fact that we can do static site generation for all these amazing tour pages and for the blogs, which really obviously is very good for SEO, to really make love to this Google SEO bot. But also it allows us to do server-side rendering for the more complex journeys. So for the booking flow and for the login, my profile, the My Titan, which is kind of their profile. So really making the site as fast as possible, and really hoping to get up there in the Google page rankings. Some other things that Next really does well, they do the route prefetching, really solves a problem from React, and means that you can do like instant navigation without it doing a lot of requests and re-rendering of the page. So that's really fast, and the built-in routing really helps us, and also supporting dynamic routes really helps us to create these static content pages. And all of this obviously is optimized for SEO, which is one of our main targets to really improve. Now, this is the interesting one for some of you. Maybe you've heard of it, maybe you haven't. We're using Storyblock for our headless CMS. Now, I can't claim all credit for this. Storyblock was a recommendation that came from our consultancy team based on the fact that a sister company of Titan have used it about 6 months ago for a very similar use case. So in our discovery phase, we hit Storyblock with everything we've got to see if we could disprove that it didn't work. But at every turn, it really stood up to the test. And I think the real standout is the visual editor that it provides. So if any of you have tried to build a headless CMS and static site solution before, you realize that trying to build a preview mode is really difficult and can take some really complex pipeline work and DevOps work if you're using something like Contentful and Gatsby, for example. So Storyblock has an amazing visual editor, and actually it gives you a React component that enables you to create a bridge between the component itself and the headless CMS. I can demo that a bit later if we have time. It's component based, which is brilliant as well, obviously matching nicely with how React works, and it really allows us to make the code really look nice and match components across. And yeah, it has all the basics. It's well documented with its management APIs. They're very active on Discord and GitHub, and will answer questions really quickly. And obviously having a GraphQL API is pretty standard nowadays for headless CMSs, but it's very important for us as we want to be using that moving forwards. Another interesting thing that we want to do this project is kind of change how we're doing testing. So one thing that we're going to be doing is no component unit tests. I find component unit test probably takes up about 70% of your development time and is quite complicated, especially for less senior, less experienced developers. So what we're going to do is the only test that happens in a component are snapshots, and then more to document the different states of the component than anything else. really what we'll be doing mostly is using Cypress and Cucumber for behavior-driven development, or BDD, user interaction tests. So the idea being that we can really help the business analyst, the product analyst, to create stories which are written in BDD format, behavior-driven development format, and then we will translate those into Cypress tests with the Cucumber layer on top of it to make them really human readable. This means that we're testing actual user interactions and how the actual site works, rather than just testing isolated components, where a lot of the time you're testing that a mock equals a mock. We're still going to be doing TDD on pure functions and utils, which is the perfect use case for TDD. It really helps you obviously build these complex functions out and refactor them to really get the most out of them. We can still get that magic tick, which the business loves so much, of 100% code coverage. Istanbul has a really useful plugin that enables us to combine Cypress test coverage with Jest test coverage, so that we can get that done. I think it's important to do 100% test coverage, because that makes developers not test every line, but it makes them really keeps them honest. So I'm happy if a developer puts Istanbul ignore next line in front of a particular test line, if they have a reason for it. So maybe they'll say, this is going to take too long, I'm going to break it out into this tech deck ticket, or etc. I think that that's good to do, good practice. I'm interested to try whether we can use both stubbed and integration tests with Cypress. So you can use Cypress tags for saying whether one's stubbed, just a stub test, or whether it's an integration test. Most of the tests will be written in stubbed mode, but we want, during the UAT phase of the pipeline, when it moves to UAT, we want to run these integration tests as well by removing the stubs. So I'm interested to kind of figure out how we can do that, because we're not going to have any QAs on this project. Budget's quite tight, resources are quite tight. So really, can we build this in a most reliable way without needing someone to be checking and accepting the stories from a QA perspective? But yeah, this is not going to happen tomorrow. It's not going to happen overnight. It's a big project. So how do we break it up into small iterable steps? So this is what we're using. One of the reasons for using Cloudflare. So Cloudflare allows you to do path splitting. So with its page rewrite rules, you can say that you can send traffic to different websites. So I could send traffic to the new website for /blogs, for example, if we release this first, without touching the old website at all. So this really enables us to just pick off bits of the old website piece by piece and release to production earlier, and really get the benefit of these pages earlier. Obviously, doing the shorter release cycles and shorter feedback loop gives us this ability to release, user test, pivot, and change if we want. Also, using the page rewrite rules, it's very easy to do this sort of blue-green deploy, red-green deploy, just switching the page instantly to the new website once that page is ready, to really split this big project into manageable chunks and concentrate on one thing at a time. So I'm really excited about this project. I'm really excited to use this new tech stack. If you were too, then there's some opportunities open to you. I'm going to just pause on this slide, and feel free to scan that QR code if this might be interesting. But don't hang around, because the closing date is Friday. So we're really looking for developers now, and we've got some really positive candidates already. But if you're interested in joining us, then come on board. We'd love to work with you. You'll be working with me and my team, and I think it's going to be a really fun project. So yeah, thank you very much.